Tonight on CitrusTV News, a $1 million donation creates a new name for the SU Promenade.
And Hurricane Matthew slams into Florida, leaving hundreds of thousands without power.
Plus, who won the Nobel Peace Prize? CitrusTV News starts right now.
From the CitrusTV studios, this is CitrusTV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
Good evening and welcome to CitrusTV News. I'm Johnny Oliver.
And I'm Brooke Glatz. The University Place Promenade has been renamed, and that's our top story tonight.
The Syracuse University Promenade has a new name. Thanks to a $1 million gift from Steve and Sherry Einhorn, the promenade will now be known as the Einhorn Family Walk. Stephen Einhorn has been the chair of the Campus Framework Advisory Group for the past 2 years.
The group is responsible for long-term changes to campus, including the creation of the new National Veterans Resource Complex and the renovations to Archibald Gym and the Carrier Dome. A celebration event for the promenade's new name will be announced soon.
As part of the continued campus framework projects, engagement sessions will be held next Friday, October 14th in Slocum Hall. The first session will center on restroom signage in order to create more inclusive options for LGBT students on campus.
The following feedback proposed designs will be voted on by the campus community in November. The other session will focus on furnishings for the University Place Promenade. The firm heading the design process will present options based on feedback students gave at the end of last semester. The sessions begin at 1 o'clock. Nearly 1 in 8 women in the United States will develop breast cancer at some point in their lives. This month, the SU community is raising awareness through various activities. Noah Wolf has more.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month is October, and it's a time for many to learn about prevention, treatment, and early detection.
I'm a breast cancer survivor myself. I had it 10 years ago, and I think October is an important month to focus on breast cancer awareness, but it should happen all the time.
According to the CDC, breast cancer is the second most common cancer in women, and there have been over 300,000 new cases in this year alone.
I think before the illness touches you personally, you sort of know it's out there, but you really don't focus on it personally. Make sure that you go for regular mammograms and get checked up more than anything else.
Students at Syracuse are showing lots of support. A pink ribbon display in front of the Hall of Languages and an event at the Gamma Phi Beta sorority house are just two examples.
It gives me chills to think about how this campus can come together for a cause. And, talking about breast cancer awareness does not really mean we're only talking about breast cancer. Through this research, through this innovation, through these awareness events, we're bringing awareness and possible solutions to other problems.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month runs through the rest of October. For more information, visit breastcancer.org or donate to one of the many research organizations looking for a cure. For Citrus TV, I'm Noah Wolf.
Thanks, Noah. Be sure to watch Citrus TV News all month long for updates on events to raise awareness. And Mental Health Awareness Week is coming to a close on SU's campus. The week focused on breaking the stigma behind mental health. Some activities included Therapy Dog Thursday and meditation at Hendrix. The week ends with a discussion about mental health and spirituality. Students are encouraged to seek help through the Counseling Center or learning more about their peer educator programs.
Right now on the quad, the first annual Go Purple 5K is being held. This is a free 5K to raise awareness of relationship and dating violence. Participants were given purple glow necklaces to wear. The 5K also includes activities that teach participants about the issues surrounding relationship violence. Domestic Violence Awareness Month takes place all October. And an information session was held earlier today about the university's work towards reaccreditation. The reaccreditation process occurs every 10 years through the Middle States Commission on Higher Education. The university must submit a self-study report to show that it is operating acceptably under its mission and the Middle States standards. At the meeting today, students and faculty were encouraged to give their feedback. More information can be found at middlestates.syr.edu website.
Local residents got a first-hand look at 2 design proposals to replace I-81. Last night's Department of Transportation open house presented the final 2 options after narrowing down the original list of 16. A more modern design of the current I-81 highway, and the second proposal is to get rid of the highway completely and have traffic run through the streets. The DOT will reveal its preferred final plan in early 2017. And this Monday is Indigenous Peoples Day here at SU. The purpose of the day is to recognize and honor the culture and contributions of Indigenous peoples. The day is part of the Chancellor's work group on diversity and inclusion, which hopes to encourage dialogue and diversity here on campus. A full list of the day's events can be found under the news section of the Syracuse University website.
Coming up, Hurricane Matthew tears through Florida.
And how many jobs the U.S. added in September. We'll be right back.
I'm Citrus TV weather anchor Brendan Tierney. Not bad right now. Beautiful skies outside today. 78 degrees with our high. 54 is the low. Mostly sunny and warm. Will we return to normal temperatures, which are 63 degrees? Or will the warm weather stick around? All the answer coming up in my full weather forecast.
Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Taking care of a family member can lead to plenty of questions. Fortunately, there's a place to get the answers, for them and for you. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Hurricane Matthew continues to hit Florida and the Atlantic coast. Currently, the National Hurricane Center downgraded Matthew to a Category 2. The storm was originally a Category 5, but weakened as it reached the Florida coast. Matthew has had winds of 110 miles per hour and killed at least 1 person in Florida. 1 million people are left without power in Florida.
President Obama declared state of emergencies in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia, as some areas are expected up to 15 inches of rain. Around 3.1 million people have been evacuated, and many on the South Carolina coast are imposing curfews from midnight until 6 a.m. on Saturday.
And Hurricane Matthew is affecting the Florida theme parks. The storm has caused Walt Disney World, SeaWorld, and several other theme parks to close.
All theme parks will remain closed until the storm passes. It is only the 4th time in history that Disney World has ever closed due to a storm. The theme parks are currently slated to reopen tomorrow at 8 a.m., but visitors should monitor social media for updates.
NASA reports Hurricane Matthew has passed north of Kennedy Space Center, leaving minimal damage. The storm hit localized portions of the building. The Space Center facilities have limited roof damage and scattered debris.
Water and electrical utility services have been disrupted as well. The damage assessment and recovery team will be brought in for its formal assessment tomorrow morning.
And both major presidential candidates are advising Floridians to stay safe from Hurricane Matthew. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton both tweeted calling for residents to stay safe and take precautions. Clinton told individuals to evacuate their homes if told to do so.
Florida remains a major battleground state for the election. The deadline to register to vote in Florida is October 11th, and the Florida governor has rejected the request to extend the voter registration deadline due to Hurricane Matthew.
And the storm has left hundreds dead in Haiti. Officials say the death toll has soared to about 480. Thousands of people have been displaced from their homes, and more than 61,000 citizens remain in shelters across the country.
Hurricane Matthew has sustained winds of 120 miles per hour. It has cut power to hundreds of thousands of homes in Florida, and it continues on a northward track.
The U.S. economy added 156,000 jobs in September. According to the Labor Department, the unemployment rate raised a 1/10 of a percentage point and is now at 5%.
The Labor Department also says this is a sign people are coming back into the job market, including these new September numbers. The U.S. has now added 15 million jobs since the recession in February 2010.
Secretary of State John Kerry has called for Russia and Syria to face a war crimes investigation. This comes after there are multiple attacks on Syrian civilians, including multiple hospitals. Kerry said that their acts aren't accidental anymore.
The previous agreement between Russia and the U.S. in September was quickly broken. The agreement would have stopped fighting for a week and allowed aid to reach civilians. A truce was broken when Syria and Russia continued fighting in Aleppo.
Well, Brooke, it was unseasonably warm this week.
It was, Johnny, but that might change this weekend. Brendan Tierney is in for Rebecca Castor for our weekend forecast. Brendan?
Thanks, guys. Yeah, definitely well above average this week. Taking a look around the region right now, we see 77 up in Fulton, 74 here in Syracuse, 72 down in Ithaca. So well above average with normal temperatures around this time of the year in the mid-60s. Taking a look at your surface analysis map, you can see why we're so above average. We're under control of high pressure right now. However, we have a cold front with a low pressure system moving into the area that will be bringing some wet weather for the weekend. Your current radar right now nice and clear, but as we put it in a future mode, you're able to see some storms that will be moving into the area late tonight, early tomorrow morning, and they will be sticking around through most of the day tomorrow. Luckily, they're out of here by about 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. However, some storms will be pretty severe. Tonight, nice overall, however, 52 degrees. Some showers will be arriving early tomorrow morning, so 2, 3 a.m. So don't stay out too late if you're going out this evening. And then your weekend weather forecast, 64 degrees is our high tomorrow. Low will be 46, colder with some rain in the area. Luckily, we'll be out of here if you plan on going out and watching the game tomorrow night. Syracuse versus Wake Forest down south. Sunday, 59 degrees. Low is 36 Sunday night, so definitely really cold temperatures coming in the evening, mostly cloudy on Sunday. However, next week, nice and sunny throughout the entire week. 57 on Monday, 66 on Tuesday, 69 coming on Wednesday. Nice and sunny still again on Thursday. 64 is your high. And then Friday, 65 degrees. We do have a chance for some rain coming in Friday evening.
All right, Brendan. So it looks like the fall weather is here, although today was a little bit warmer. Is that warm weather going to stay, or will the temperatures dip down soon?
Unfortunately, the rain that's coming through tomorrow will shift us over from the summer pattern we're into the fall pattern. So we'll be seeing temperatures more around average, luckily not too cold.
Well, Brendan, if it's going to start to cool off, I hate to ask the question, but how much longer until we're seeing snow?
Well, it's a little scary. We might be seeing some snow soon. Low temperatures are going to be in the 30s, so if you drop to low of 32 and there's some precipitation, we might be seeing some snow in the early morning. Next week, week after maybe.
Not good to hear. Thank you, Brendan.
Thanks, guys.
Well, up next, the winner of the Nobel Peace Prize.
And a new unveilment from the Microsoft Citrus TV News. We'll be right back.
Children in the right car seat for their age and size? It may be too late to check when you're on the road. Fortunately, you're on the couch. Don't think you know. Know you know.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. so he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course.
President Obama has commuted the sentences of 102 more inmates. These inmates were all serving federal sentences for nonviolent drug crimes and were all sentenced under mandatory minimum laws. President Obama has now commuted 774 sentences, more than the past 11 presidents combined. The president has criticized mandatory minimum sentencing and says he will keep commuting nonviolent drug offenders until the end of his presidency. And Americans seeking unemployment fell to the lowest levels since mid-April. The decreasing number of people needing the benefits is a good sign that workers have job security. Despite slower economic growth, the Labor Department says claims have come in below a healthy level for 83 straight weeks. This is the longest streak since 1970, when the labor force was half the size it is now.
And Texas state agents arrested the CEO of Backpage.com Thursday in a raid on the site's Dallas headquarters. The arrest came from following allegations that escort ads on the site force adult and child sex trafficking victims into prostitution. CEO Carl Furrer is the one charged with pimping a minor, pimping, and conspiracy. If convicted, the CEO could face up to nearly 22 years in prison. And the Nobel Peace Prize has been awarded. This year's goes to Colombian President Juan Manuel Santos for his efforts to end a 5-decade-long civil war. The award was announced today in Oslo, and this comes 5 days after Colombia voted to reject a peace deal that the government was negotiating. The war killed 220,000 Colombians and is displaced around 6 million people. And environmental groups are pushing to defeat plans that would invest billions of dollars into aging nuclear plants. The group said that investigating money into the nuclear plants will cost consumers and is hazardous overall. They want to run a statewide campaign to get Governor Cuomo to reconsider. Cuomo is in favor of keeping the plants running so that the state can focus on reducing fossil fuel and using more renewable energy. This plan is tied to New York's efforts to generate half of its power with renewable energy by 2030.
A new study finds that humans have a maximum lifespan of 115 years. The study was published by the Albert Einstein College of Medicine. The researchers examined data on survival and mortality and found that at some point DNA damage and other molecules become too difficult to fix, even with improvements in technology and health. And Microsoft announced they will be unveiling a new Surface PC at the end of this month. The software company will be holding an event in New York City to reveal new Surface software and details on the next Windows 10 update. Microsoft is expected to make announcements about Xbox as well. The event will focus on the future of Windows 10 and desktop PCs, but it is not expected to be as large as last year. And Netflix is coming to theaters. The company is partnering with the luxury movie theater chain iPic Entertainment. iPic will be playing select Netflix original movies in its theaters, as the movies are streaming on Netflix as well. The partnership launches today in LA with the movie Siege of Jadotville. The new viewing experience has created some controversy, as some theater chains are afraid of the competition Netflix brings.
Coming up in sports, the Orange football squad heads south to take on the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest this weekend. We have coverage to get you ready for the contest. Also, a group of other SU teams are in action over the next 3 days. We'll let you know what to watch for. All that and more coming up next.
Hey, Hard, what's this?
That's my resignation letter.
You're resigning.
Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you get stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit.
I forgot. I'll do better.
Please, don't quit on me. Okay, but remember, it's not what you say,
It's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Got a quarter?
Well, despite the hurricane and bad weather in the forecast, Syracuse football is still headed to Winston-Salem, North Carolina to take on Wake Forest on Saturday. The Demon Deacons are actually off to a 4-1 overall record, which is the best start in the last 5 seasons. SU comes into the ACC matchup with a 2-3 record and are in need of some quality conference wins to keep the team in bowl contention. Orange head coach Dino Babers is very familiar with opposing coach Dave Clawson, and Babers spoke about it earlier in the week.
Well, just another fine Dave Clawson football team. I have a lot of respect for Coach Clawson, obviously following him into Bowling Green and being able to see the inner foundations of his programs and how he builds them. So we know we're going against a year 3 Clawson foundation, and we know what that means. A strong kicking game, excellent defense, and a very opportunistic offense. They're not going to beat themselves. You're going to have to find a way to win the football game because they normally don't lose it.
Game time for Syracuse versus Wake Forest is set for 7 o'clock. Be sure to tune into Orange Press Pass live following the game. That crew will have your post-game coverage, including press conferences from Winston-Salem and immediate analysis of the contest. OPP starts Saturday night at midnight. Well, it was a battle down at the SU soccer stadium last night as the women's soccer team took on Virginia Tech in an ACC clash. Syracuse and Virginia Tech getting ready to go, wearing the pink uniforms for breast cancer awareness. And early on, 19 minutes in, it is a goal by Christina Diana, 1-0 Hokies, getting them on the board early. And the Hokies would try once again. Shots from Diana and Bridget Patch. Both will be saved here by Courtney Brosnan. Came up clutch to keep this game close, although she did get hurt. Brosnan hurts her shoulder on the play. It doesn't matter. She's a tough cookie. She stays in the game. A corner kick from SU bounces off of Virginia Tech player Layla Gray, and it ties it up 1-1 in the 71st minute. Then later in the contest, a bad tackle in the box by Taylor Bennett from SU on Muriel Tiernan gives a penalty to Virginia Tech in the 82nd minute. Here's the penalty shot, saved away there by Taylor Bennett. Or Courtney Brosnan, Candace Seffers with the shot. But then a little bit later, you saw it go in for Syracuse. This time it goes in on the Orange. Jessica Vigna gives Virginia Tech the 2-1 advantage in the 86th minute. The teams line up, shake hands at the end of the contest. Syracuse is now 7-5-2 on the season. And up next for Syracuse is number 2 Florida State on Sunday, October 9th at the SU Soccer Stadium. Well, if you want more soccer news, we definitely came to the right place. Tonight, the men's soccer program plays in one of the tougher road matches of the year, and Coach Mack and company take on Louisville. Syracuse was stunned by Albany 2-1 in the previous game and come into tonight's matchup hungry for another victory. SU is currently ranked 3rd in the nation despite the loss last week, and Louisville sits 5 spots behind the Orange at 8th. Game tonight is set for 7 o'clock. Well, now it's a battle between number 4 and number 2 as Syracuse hosts Duke in field hockey. That game started at J.S. Coyne Stadium at 5 o'clock. Currently, Syracuse is on top 4-0 in the 57th minute. The field hockey team also plays Sunday afternoon against Cornell down the road in Ithaca. That match starts at 3. And the volleyball team is also in action tonight as Notre Dame heads to the women's building. The Irish are one of the best teams in the nation, boasting a 13-3 overall record. That match is set to start in just about 15 minutes. The Orange also play the Cardinals of Louisville at home on Sunday. You can catch that game at 1 o'clock that afternoon. Well, after a long summer, the Syracuse Crunch are back in action tomorrow. The preseason kicks off at the War Memorial at 5 as Syracuse hosts the Central New York rival Utica Comets. Fans will be happy to know that all-star goaltender Kristers Guzlevskis is back between the pipes for the Crunch this season. The home opener takes place Saturday, October 15th against the Rochester Americans.
Well, Jared, Syracuse football needs a win pretty badly this weekend to keep their bowl hopes realistic. Do you think the Orange get it done on the road?
Unfortunately, I do not. I think Wake Forest has a lot of momentum because of their 4-1 starts, the best start in the last 5 years for the program. Look for them to take the win at home.
All right, Jared, so clearly it's not football, but what SU sport are you most excited for this weekend?
Well, I'm always excited for the field hockey team. Right now up 4-0 on Duke, and they also play on Sunday against Louisville, so it's going to be an exciting time for the field hockey team. Won the national championship last year, and hopefully they can make it back again.
Be great. Thanks, Jared.
Thanks, guys.
And we'll be right back with one last look with your weather.
Stay with us.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Here's your check.
Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
All right, Brendan, so tell me, what is the weather looking like tomorrow? Do I need a jacket?
You're going to need a rain jacket, that's for sure. Let's take a look at your day planner for tomorrow. We're looking at 58 degrees at 9 a.m. The rain should be in the area by then. Noon, 61. Your high is going to be 64 about 3 p.m. And then we're going to be back down to 60 by 6 p.m. Luckily, the rain's going to be out of here by then.
Brendan, if I'm going to head over to a friend's house to watch the SU football game tomorrow night, walking down Euclid, what should I wear?
I don't think you're going to need a rain jacket by 7 p.m. when the game's on. It should be out of here 4 or 5 p.m. in the evening, but it's going to be a little cold. You're definitely going to want to bundle up for that.
All right, and Brendan, you mentioned earlier that it will start to get colder soon. Around what point in the week next week do you think that it's going to be really cold and we're going to feel it?
The coldest day, sadly, is Monday, getting up early to start the week. It's going to be a pretty cold day overall. We're going to get warmer throughout the weekend. It's going to be nice and sunny at least. That's good.
Oh, that's
good news. All right, thank you, Brendan.
Thanks, guys.
Well, that's all we have for you for Citrus TV News this evening.
Check us out online at CitrusTV.com. I'm Brooke Glatz.
I'm Johnny Oliver.
Have a great night, Syracuse.